Hello, beautiful creative people. This is Kyla Givehand of Giving Hands Creative, and I'm coming to you today, Sunday, June 9th, at 4:35 in the afternoon, June 9th, and it is again a Sunday, and I'm here for book 23, and I have to be honest and tell you that there almost was not a book this week. I had a very strange week. So yeah, anyway, long story short, I'm feeling a little under the weather, not sick or like I have a cold or anything, but just super tired, and yeah, so there almost wasn't a book today because I literally have all day just been like dragging. Then I remembered a few folks in different groups that I'm a part of have mentioned recently Teesha Moore's amazing 16-page journal that she creates. So, and I've seen that video before a while ago, maybe a year ago. I watched it. I think it's been on YouTube for a long time, maybe 2010. I don't know. I feel like she put it up a long time ago. So I went back and I rewatched that. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do something that's sort of a take on that. So I'm not going to give you my sort of step-by-step videoed thing today because you can watch her video of how she makes that 16-page book, and I don't really want to take away from what she's done. But I actually want mine to be a lot smaller than hers because I think she makes hers for art journaling, which I'm pretty sure she does. And these blank books that I've decided to make these few weeks going forward are really, I want them to be blank, and they're for writing. They're not going to be for necessarily for my art journaling. So I think, with that said, I decided to go with a smaller book. It's gonna, if I have mapped it out right, I have this sort of little diagram I created for myself, which kind of holds over from my days of doing letterpress. One of my professors, Kathy Walkup, she taught us to do a cut sheet first, which is basically take a piece of paper and map out your plan for cutting your paper before you cut it. Just to make sure you know where to cut, to minimize the amount of waste that you have on the paper. So this is my little cut diagram for this project, and hopefully I've measured everything properly and it works out the first time. So I have a page that's, I think Teesha Moore does hers on a sheet that's like 22 by 30 maybe, and she uses watercolor paper. This is what's called text weight paper that I'm using, and it is it's really for letterpress. So I just kind of went into my stash from back when I took letterpress classes, 2011, 2012 maybe, to see what I had. And I had a sheet that was something like 15 by 23. And I thought, that doesn't sound like a good number. So I cut it down to 14 by 20. And I'm going to tear it into 5-inch strips. And then I'm going to fold. And what I really love about Teesha Moore's art journal, her 16-page amazing journal, is the flaps that sort of come in and out. They almost make the book interactive. So I'm trying to mimic that. I'm trying to mimic the idea of using one page of paper to create the inside of the book. The one thing I do know that I want to use is this piece of paper. When I was going through my letterpress paper, I found this piece of handmade paper that I honestly don't remember where I got it from. And it's just very simple. It's like a very textured, pulpy feeling. It's got little bits of stuff inside of it. But it's a handmade paper, and so I want to use this for my cover. And then I think I want to do some stitching with the sewing machine. So again, my energy level is so low today, it's kind of ridiculous. But I'm hoping that I'll be able to sustain this idea that I have, and that I can actually do it pretty quickly. So I'm not going to stop the video here. I'm just going to keep right on talking, and I'm just going to go into the next. So what I plan to do is tear my page here into 5-inch strips. So I'm going to measure that out, and from there I'm going to tear my pages. I'm gonna go off camera to do this, just again because I think that you can see this on Teesha Moore's website and on her YouTube video, which I'll put a link for in my comments down below. And so I'm gonna do the majority of the work off camera today, just because when the camera's on, I feel there's like a lot of pressure to make sure everything is angled right and in the camera shot, and I just yeah, I'm not sure that I'm up to it today. So what I'm gonna do is tear my pages, tear my strips out, fold them, then I'll come back and show you the folded pieces before I stitch anything. And then I think I'm going to go over to my sewing machine, stitch down the center. If the paper's not too thick and I can actually get it under my pressure foot, then on my sewing machine, then I'll do that. If not, I'm probably going to have to hand stitch something, and you've seen me do that 1,000 times. Well, not 1,000, but enough times that you probably don't need to see me stitching again by hand. So it'll either be stitched on the machine or I'll stitch it by hand. Then I'll come back and talk a little bit about my cover and get the cover on. As I'm holding this and thinking about it, I'm thinking, oh, stitching a ribbon onto this that will then wrap around might be a cool idea. But anyway, one step at a time, because I'm almost out of breath just talking to you. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay, so we are back. It is 6:11. I took a little bit of a break to chat with my cousin on the phone. So it didn't take me as long as it looks like it took me. But all I've done so far is take my pages, and they're all folded and sewn. And I decided to go ahead and hand stitch them because I was able to do that and talk on the phone at the same time instead of going to the sewing machine. Plus, I did think this was a little thick for the sewing machine. So the book is sewn down the center, and what I have decided to do, I took the cover, which is the same size as all the rest of the pages, folded it, and it ends up with 2 flaps instead of the 1 flap. And I think what I'm going to do is glue down the first page with the flap glued here, and glue down the last page, which is going to be kind of weird to have this flap glued to the back of that, but you know, weird, I can work with weird. Not a problem. So that's my plan. And then to finish that all up with this ribbon that I think I am going to adhere to this with I don't know yet, maybe some 3-in-1 glue, or I'm sure I have something on this shelf that is glue that will work. Okay, so that's my plan for now, is to do that so that I can have this ribbon enclosure. Okay, the book is done, and it is 6:51. So what, a little under 2 hours, give or take? Yeah, a little over 2 hours. So I did title the book I Am Blank. That was the title I was thinking of in the last little segment there. And because that's kind of how I'm feeling today. Like, I just feel like I'm on empty. So I'm so happy I was able to get a book done. But as soon as I'm done with this, I'm actually gonna go and I'm going to a reading. One of my friends is giving a reading tonight. She has a book coming out, or a book that is out, and a second friend of mine is reading on the same docket, I guess, or whatever. So anyway, I'm going to see the two of them read, and then I am going to come home and crash because I really just feel depleted in so many ways. And so I Am Blank says a lot because I had this little cut guide, and then I still measured incorrectly, and I mean I measured right for the cutting and the tearing, but when it was time for me to fold, I had measured that my fold should be at 10.5, and I did it at 10. Anyway, I know it's because I'm running on empty right now. So here is the book. The title is I Am Blank. And I did go ahead and adhere the ribbon. It is adhered on both sides. I used the 3-in-1 glue to do that. And so it's just a blank book, but I'll go ahead and open and give you a quick peek inside. This I folded over, so this page is glued down and folded over, and then the cover is folded over and also glued so that it stays nice and snug. And then I did a little title page. For some reason I'm fond of those. So, and then it has those same fold out pieces that Teesha Moore's has, which I really like. And yeah. So the last page also folded, glued down, flap glued over, and then the colophon. So because the glue is not completely dry, I am going to probably put this under some weight with some just like newsprint in between the glued pages and the non-glued pages, so that that moisture will soak into this instead of soaking into my actual pages. And then I'm going to put it under weight while I'm gone, and it should be nice and dry by the time I get back. So Teesha Moore's book has 16 pages, she says, and so let's see how many I have here. I'm not going to count this, but page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So this is the amazing 20-page journal. And I like the size of this. I think, like I said, she does hers for art journaling, and I think when I art journal, I like to have something bigger than this. Although I do have a small art journal. I think the tiniest one I have, I don't know where it is right now, but oh, here it is. I have a little tiny one that I'm working in right now. That so yeah, that's probably as small as I want to go for an art journal. But I know most people like to work really big, so this probably wouldn't suffice for them. But 20-page, hand-bound, blank journal for writing, which is what I plan to do in it. So this is Kyla Give Hand signing off and running out of gas slowly for book 23 of the Book in a Day series. I thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and to those of you who are making the books along with me, kudos, and keep going. I love the pictures that you're posting, or some of you are sending them to me via email. A couple folks are posting them on the different Facebook groups that we have through the Giving Hands community. And so yeah, just go out and make something beautiful today. Thanks again.